Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff Lights, band leader for Phillies Soul Collective. We're so excited to be a part of this celebration honoring ALS healthcare heroes. You're in for a great program tonight. This celebration includes highlights from the Philadelphia Phillies, the Flame of Hope honors in ALS healthcare, advocacy and research, and innovation, a silent auction, as well as special speeches from Phil Rosenthal, Buddy Valastro, and Ken Frazier. People with ALS count on heroes every day, from doctors and nurses, to social workers and dietitians, to researchers and volunteers, to friends and family caregivers. Please, please continue to give. The link is alshealthcareheroes.org. You, remember, are helping the very people you are seeing here tonight. You make it all possible. It means so much to our ALS families. So sit back and enjoy the celebration. Yeah.
Feel like it's helping you?
It's fine.
Good quality, okay. Swallowing's good, speech
Yes.
clear as can be.
Nobody fights ALS alone. It takes a team of heroes. Some may even call them superheroes.
And let him relax.
It takes a team of heroes to support a person with ALS. That team includes doctors, nurses, social workers, communication specialists, physical, speech, and occupational therapists, in-home care workers, nutritionists, visiting volunteers, mental health professionals, assistive technologists, respiratory therapists, wheelchair and equipment specialists, researchers, family caregivers, neighbors, and friends. In 2020, we saw these heroes step up in ways that they never knew they could. In ways so phenomenal, they were almost unimaginable. When people with ALS needed a hero, they rose to meet the challenge. Sometimes in person, sometimes on a computer, but nobody has to fight this disease alone. Because to a family fighting ALS, these heroes are irreplaceable. Isn't that right, honey? If Randy lives another year or another 20 years, I'll be here taking care of him because I'm not ready to lose him, and I don't think I ever will be. And from the bottom of our hearts, thank you to all the ALS healthcare heroes on our team. We couldn't face this disease without you.
Wow, what a video! Hi everybody, my name is Michael Barkan. You might know me from NBC Sports Philadelphia and Phillies and Eagles Post-Game Live. Thank you to everyone joining us for this special celebration, and thank you especially to all the ALS healthcare heroes who always step up to help those with ALS. These heroes go above and beyond every single day, but you have done much more than anyone could have imagined in 2020 during a pandemic, and we are so very, very grateful to you. I want to give a big shout out to Jeff Lights and Phillies Soul Collective for the wonderful music to help kick things off today. Tonight you're going to witness an unforgettable lineup of speakers and moments as we transform our traditional ALS annual dinner into an online celebration with guests from across the country, the Flame of Hope honors, an update on ALS research, and as always, highlights from the Philadelphia Phillies and their work to strike out ALS. One of the benefits of this night is everybody being together, and with the pandemic, we're unable to do that, but we can do other things, like bring folks from LA and bring folks from down south and all parts of the globe to be with us tonight, virtually, of course. And this evening wouldn't be possible without the help of our sponsors. Thank you to presenting hero Conservest Capital Advisors, visionary sponsors Citizens Bank and Parks, and mission advancement sponsors BDO, Christine Cantor, and Merck and Company, and many, many more. All are tremendously appreciated. Look for their names throughout the program. And special thanks, of course, to the Phillies for their friendship and steadfast partnership with the chapter. I've always been impressed by the people who speak at our ALS events, but this may be the best lineup I have ever seen. Before we begin this incredible program, remember that our fabulous silent auction is a great way to give to the chapter as well as to yourself. The auction closes on Monday, November 23rd at noon, so you have time to make sure that your bid wins. You'll find everything from jewelry to experience to Phillies memorabilia to a dinner from renowned chef Susanna Fu. Get your popcorn ready, as T.O. would say, and enjoy the show and our fabulous celebrity guests. Speaking of celebrity speakers, please join me right now in welcoming Phil Rosenthal, host of the hit Netflix show Somebody Feed Phil and creator of Everybody Loves Raymond, as he shares a message about ALS healthcare heroes. Phil?
Oh, hi there, everybody. This is Phil Rosenthal from Somebody Feed Phil, and I created the show Everybody Loves Raymond. And I just wanted to say hi to all you folks. If you follow me at all, you know how important family is to me. And you know, I lost my mom to ALS a year ago, just now. And so we know how devastating that disease can be for a family. So it means a lot to me that you're supporting people like my mom. I also know that it takes a team of real heroes to provide care for a person with ALS. You nurses, neurologists, social workers, speech therapists, dietitians, volunteers, friends and family. You know, heroes always step up in a time of crisis, and you all certainly did that in 2020. I wish I could give you all a big hug in person, but we can't do that right now. Just know I'm sending you my love and my respect and my dreams of ending this disease. Thank you to all the heroes who take up this cause every day, and you can always support this mission at alsphiladelphia.org. That's alsphiladelphia.org. Thank you. Love you.
Phil, thank you so much for those wonderful and heartfelt words. Our thoughts are with your family after the loss of your beloved mother. In the past year, we have lost many people, too many, and not just to ALS and COVID-19. One of those people, a hero to many here in Philadelphia, is my good friend Nancy Giles. Nancy was a friend to all people affected by ALS, and she was instrumental in forging a bond between the Philadelphia Phillies and the ALS Association that has lasted nearly 40 years and is still going strong. Here to talk about Nancy and the Phillies is another of my very good friends, Ellen Phillips. Ellen is the epitome of an ALS healthcare hero. In 1982, her husband Alan was diagnosed with ALS at the age of 34. Ellen became president of the chapter in 1984 and has spent the past 36 years dedicating her life to helping those affected by this terrible disease. Ellen is a former member and officer of the National ALS Association's Board of Trustees and currently serves on the research committee and formed the Public Policy Committee in the early 1990s. But her heart is always with our ALS families. Go to any ALS event and you will see Ellen Phillips with a patient or comforting a family member, and her compassion, coupled with her perseverance, makes her indispensable to us all. Along with Nancy Giles, Ellen and her mom, Malvina Charlstein, were instrumental in forming the chapter's relationship with the Phillies, and the chapter has been the team's principal charity since 1984. This partnership has resulted in raising more than $19 million for ALS programs, services, and research. It is my pleasure to introduce my friend and my hero, Ellen Phillips.
Thank you, Michael. Your friendship to our organization has been long-lasting and strong. We are grateful to have you on our team in the fight against ALS. You are a champion. In April, we lost the matriarch of the Phillies fight against ALS, Nancy Giles. Nancy and her husband Bill, former president and chairman of the Phillies, transformed our chapter in 1984 when they, David and Lynn Montgomery, Sherry and Jerry Clothier, and Bill Webb, took a chance on us, a small not-for-profit with a $4,500 budget. We became the charity of the Phillies' wives, and soon thereafter, the principal charity of the Phillies. Over the years, Nancy and I developed a beautiful friendship, and I think about her every day. She was thoughtful, selfless, giving, and devoted to our cause. Her smile lit up a room. She insisted that all members of the Phillies organization learn about ALS. Talks were scheduled with staff prior to the festival so that everyone knew what ALS was and how it had affected our families. For years, Nancy hosted an ALS family for dinner in the executive dining room with the Phillies' wives, and a patient also at the same time visited the Phillies clubhouse so that the players knew why they were giving up an off day to participate in the festival. Wives, players, Nancy, Lynn, and Sherry visited our ALS clinic to learn more about ALS and to see how the money that they were raising was being spent. Nancy never missed a chapter event, from the fanatic dog walk and parade to research programs and to every festival. At the festival, Nancy and I spent our time visiting the wives at the grab bags and meeting our families. She listened when they talked, and friendships began. Our hot chocolate event was made for Nancy. She was like a kid in a candy store when it came to chocolate. She was a chocolate devotee who believed that starting your day with a piece of chocolate was extremely important to your health. She delighted in being with our families here too. Our patients loved her, and she loved them back. Nancy was famous for being the captain of her A1 Walkers. This was her team for the Greater Philadelphia Walk. Composed of family, friends, neighbors, her sorority sisters, and everyone she was in contact with, they were a formidable team. On walk day, Bill held an enormous A1 Walker sign as he and Nancy walked together with the team. As the years went on, Bill pushed Nancy in her wheelchair. I have no doubt that Nancy is in heaven organizing an A1 Walkers team right now and spreading the word about ALS. As a tribute to this remarkable woman, we have named a Flame of Hope Award in her memory. It will be known as the Nancy K. Giles Flame of Hope for Care Services. Thank you.
The Philadelphia Phillies are honored to have supported the ALS Philadelphia chapter for 36 years. Ever since 1984, our partnership with the ALS chapter has raised over $20 million. The beginning of this beautiful relationship was started by four wonderful people, Bill and Nancy Giles, along with Lynn and David Montgomery. When I think of our long-term partnership, I'm always reminded of two key groups. The first group, of course, are the patients, the ones who we have lost, Shelby Oppenheimer, Karen Delaney, Wes Rose, and others. And of course, those still battling ALS each and every day. Chuck Schretzman, Kevin Glenn, Christine Moretti, Jason Shipman, and others. Their will to fight inspires the Phillies organization each and every day. The second group of heroes are the caregivers, family members, and the healthcare professionals who become like family to so many patients. Your dedication, care, and loyalty to the ALS community is amazing. Thank you for everything you do for the ALS community. The Philadelphia Phillies family, from our ownership group, the Middleton and the Buck families, to the front office, to the players, and of course, our loyal and passionate fans. We want to say thank you to all healthcare heroes for your amazing efforts all year round. Thank you.
Thank you, Phillies, for all that you do to strike out ALS. What a great video created by Dan Stevenson of the Phillies. Video Dan, we call him. Seriously, that's what we call him. Featuring our good friend John Weber, Senior Vice President, Ticket Operations and Projects. We are so glad to have you as teammates in this cause. Speaking of teammates, the ALS Association knows that it takes a team to take on this disease. That includes a team of professionals at the ALS treatment centers, a team of researchers, volunteers, family caregivers, and more. All of them are healthcare heroes in their own way. That is why the chapter created the annual Flame of Hope Awards to honor exceptional people involved in ALS care, advocacy, and research and innovation. Each year we highlight some incredible people in these categories, and I know that you will be impressed by their stories. Please join me in recognizing the 2020 Flame of Hope Awards.
Hi, I'm Melissa Call. I'm a social worker with the ALS Association, and I'm so proud to present the Flame of Hope for ALS Care in honor of Nancy Giles to my good friend and colleague, Gail Houseman. Gail has been a nurse with the Greater Philadelphia chapter for over 20 years. Gail is a wealth of knowledge to patients and families, as well as her coworkers here at the chapter. She truly is an ALS expert. Gail wears many hats as nurse extraordinaire. She's a mental health nurse. She started and continues to manage our visiting volunteer program. She coordinates our equipment loaner closet, runs various support groups, organizes and presents educational webinars for the ALS community, advocates on behalf of those living with ALS, attends the Jefferson Weinberg ALS Clinic, and supports many patients and families throughout our service area. In addition to all of these responsibilities, Gail truly shines when she works closely with our patients and families in dealing with difficult decisions they may face throughout their journey with ALS. Gail is a supportive, caring, warm-hearted, and calming presence for those dealing with ALS. Gail is always a comforting and familiar face at our walks and many events. We often accompany each other on home visits, and it is a given that our time on the road will be highlighted with a stop at a local diner or Gail's favorite, Arby's. It has been a privilege to work side by side with such an extraordinary and compassionate nurse. It has been an honor to work with you and to call you my friend. I can't think of a more deserving person for the Flame of Hope for ALS Care. This is for you, Gail. Congratulations.
Hi, I am truly honored to receive the Flame of Hope Award this year, especially since this award is in memory of Nancy Giles. I got to interact with Mrs. Giles quite a bit at the various events that she attended. Mrs. Giles struck me as a warm soul who truly cared about our patients and cause. I've never held a job as long as this one. I think the primary reason for my longevity is because I came to believe that this organization truly attempts to support its mission, that the mission matters. Simply stated, to provide care for people with ALS and their loved ones, and to support the cause of research, especially to find a cure. So thanks to the chapter board, chapter staff, especially care services team, and all of the visiting volunteers that I have been fortunate enough to work with. I would also like to give a shout out to the clinicians at the Jefferson Weinberg ALS Clinic, a great group of colleagues that I get to work with. In addition, I'd like to give a special thanks to 4 specific members of the care services team. Thanks to Melissa Call, Ann Cooney, Elisa Brownlee, and Janie Eskovitz for always having my back. And of course, the chapter wouldn't be the chapter without Ellen Phillips. Thanks for hiring me, Ellen, and for hanging on to me.
A majority of my career has been spent researching, teaching, and studying entrepreneurial ventures. I have learned that many successful entrepreneurial ventures have a maniacal concentration on delighting their customers. Why? Delighted customers stay longer and are more valuable to the company, and delighted customers tell their friends, and it makes it a lot easier and more efficient to get new customers. When Susan and I and our children and grandchildren visited Dr. Geronimo and his team and their patients at Hershey last summer, I was very impressed with their maniacal concentration on delighting their customers. It was clear the way the caregivers and the patients interacted, that the patients loved their caregivers and really appreciated all of the help and support that they got. If Dr. Geronimo wants a second career, I am very confident he could be a very successful leader of a medical entrepreneurial venture.
We are thrilled to present this Flame of Hope Award to Dr. Andrew Geronimo, who we had the pleasure of meeting this summer in Hershey when we rode our tandem bike with our son and grandsons to Hershey, Pennsylvania. He showed us the brain-computer interface device, and that was the highlight of our grandson's visit, being able to see how it works. We appreciate everything that Dr. Geronimo has done to help and to give patients hope. Congratulations, Dr. Geronimo.
I want to express my deepest gratitude to the ALS Association for this 2020 Flame of Hope Award for Research and Innovation. It means a lot to me in my work, and it also means a lot to see what this type of research, which is enabling communication for ALS patients who have lost the ability to communicate, to be able to regain their voice. So I want to thank you very much from my home lab here in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Senator Bob Casey. I'm pleased to have this opportunity to pay tribute to Laura and Peter Sawyer, who are receiving the ALS Flame of Hope Award. As you all know, ALS is a disease that has a devastating impact on families and individuals. The Flame of Hope Award goes to healthcare heroes who keep the flame of hope alive in the fight against this terrible condition. I was inspired when I read about Laura and Peter's commitment to each other during Peter's battle with ALS and their efforts to raise money for ALS research. I will continue my fight here in the United States Senate for sustained funding for medical research and to ensure that all of my constituents have access to quality, affordable health care. Laura and Peter, congratulations on winning the ALS Flame of Hope Award. Thank you for being an inspiration to so many families all across our Commonwealth.
I am speaking for my husband, Pete, who is my hero. He is what I right now live for. We are grateful to receive this award from for our advocacy from the ALS Association. This means the world to both of us. It is something we love to do. It is something we continue to do and will continue to do. It means so much to be a part of the ALS Advocate Group. Our trips to Harrisburg and Washington, D.C. that result in increasing funds for the ALS mission that prove our words matter. And that does mean a big thing when our words matter. We encourage others to join. Being an advocate is something anyone can do, and even when many cannot safely leave their homes, the association is there. They will answer questions. They will help you get through. They will lead you. They will guide you. What does advocating mean to us? It means getting the word out to people that don't understand ALS. It means getting funding to those that don't have what they need, since ALS takes so much from somebody, but still leaves you needing more. Advocating means helping the association with funding, helping them keep it going for more research, which is a definite thing that is needed to help end ALS. They are always there to help us and answer any questions we might have, night or day. That's the association, the clinic. They help us whenever we need it. We both love going to DC to meet up with other people that advocate that we know from across the country through our support groups that we're involved with, and meeting people online or meeting people when we travel. To get to meet them and go and be with them for a day or two, and everybody pushing for the same things is a wonderful feeling. And it's nice to see everybody come together and do that across the country. Pete and I are involved to represent all those who live with ALS and the loved ones who care for them. We want to be their voice. We want to help them get the point across of what is needed. I will be involved with ALS till the very end, until something is found to cure ALS. Pete will be with me as long as he can, doing the same thing. One thing that we ask is that you please join us to be an advocate. The more we have, the better it is. You can sign up online, and it does not have to be face-to-face any longer. We can do this through phone calls, email, Zoom meetings possible, but all the help we can get would be highly appreciated. And once again, thank you for the award.
Congratulations to all of our Flame of Hope recipients. We are so proud of the work you are doing. Gail, Andrew, Peter, and Laura, you can help support this work by donating in their honor at alsphiladelphia.org. alsphiladelphia.org. And every donation makes a difference, especially right now. We want to thank all the sponsors who are donating to support our mission, especially Presenting Heroes sponsor ConserVest. Please take a moment to view their video honoring ALS healthcare heroes.
Hi, I'm Bruce Carden, the founder and chief investment officer of ConserVest Capital Advisors, a Philadelphia-based boutique investment advisory and financial planning firm. We are celebrating over 27 years in business. We are so proud to continue our support of the Philadelphia chapter of the ALS Association, now for over a decade. Our firm believes that our commitment to our community should be as strong as our commitment to our clients. And while we are conservative in our investment approach, we are aggressive in our dedication to helping fight ALS. This year, more than ever before, we are honored to recognize the work of ALS healthcare heroes, whether they be the Philadelphia chapter members and staff, the doctors, nurses, and researchers fighting ALS each and every day, or the family caregivers who as patients are on the front lines of this fight. Thank you for all you do. We wish to congratulate the recipients of this year's Flame of Hope Award and look forward to the day when we can celebrate the end of this truly terrible disease.
The chapter always honors exceptional people. Well, almost always. I've been involved with the chapter for 25 years and was honored back in 2010. And the Barkan family has not changed one bit since that ALS event. That young son right there, that punk, Matthew Dillon Barkan, he now calls his father a punk. He's now taller than I am. He's a junior in college. And my daughter Emily is pursuing her master's degree. And my wife Ellen is the glue that holds us all together. She really has not changed. Really, she has not changed, it says right there. Things that have also not changed are the services that chapter, despite this pandemic, still provide to ALS families through their Arthur and Leah Powell Patient Services Program, despite the pandemic. They include the Howard I. Abrams In-Home Care Program, the Marjorie Scheimer Durable Medical Equipment Loan Program, the Scott A. Mackler MD PhD Assistive Technology Program, and the Mike Kilpatrick ALS Transportation Program. And ALS research continues during COVID-19. With your support and donations, research is moving forward at a rapid pace and providing hope for all those affected by ALS. The ALS Association has the premier ALS research program in the world. Here to give an update on that is Kuldeep Dave, PhD, Vice President for Research at the ALS Association.
Hi, I'm Kuldeep Dave, Vice President of Research at the ALS Association. I oversee our research strategy and program. The ALS Association is the largest philanthropic funder of research in the world. Currently, we're funding 175 active projects across 15 different countries. ALS is a neurodegenerative disease in which motor neurons, brain cells in our spinal cord and brain, slowly degenerate and die. When motor neurons die, the brain can no longer initiate and control muscle movement. People with ALS lose the ability to speak, eat, move, and even breathe. Average survival time after diagnosis is between 3 and 5 years. It is a rare but devastating disease. An important focus of our research program is to find treatments and cure for this devastating disease. Since the Ice Bucket Challenge in 2014, we have committed over $110 million for research, and this funding has gone to projects to understand the underlying biology, to discover new drugs, to fund clinical trials, to find new biomarkers, to support the vast infrastructure and research enterprise. And we're seeing some exciting results come to fruition because of our funding. You may have heard about the positive results from the drug AMX35 developed by Amylyx Pharmaceuticals. This is one of the first clinical trials that we funded through our Ice Bucket funds. AMX35 showed that the drug was safe and importantly showed a significant and positive functional and survival benefit in ALS patients. There was more positive news this year published on genetic therapies. For example, Biogen that is developing a genetic therapy called tofersen against a gene mutation SOD1, which causes ALS. That drug was shown to be safe and it reduced SOD1 levels in ALS patients. Tofersen is currently in phase 3 study and we expect the results to come next year. By the end of this year, 2020, we expect to see top-line results for Neuron, cell therapy, which is also in phase 3, but this one is targeting our immune system. So we hope we continue to see positive results. We are at the cusp of something great about to happen. The state of the field is such that we're looking at different types of targets to go after, different pathways like inflammation, or mitochondrial function. Different approaches are being tested in the clinic, for example, genetic therapies, small molecule therapies, cellular therapies. Important stakeholders are engaged, such as FDA, which is providing guidance on how to run ALS trials. We're trying to innovate new approaches to do clinical trials, such as the Healy platform trial, where we can test multiple therapies all at one time. And of course, the most important is that we have community engagement. Your support for what we do is so crucial in allowing us to do our jobs. And it's also important to understand that caregivers are important for research in many ways because you make sure that people with ALS are able to participate in research. Thank you for all that you do. And thank you, everyone.
Great report about research. I hope all of you who are watching are feeling hopeful as well. Now, normally, at this point, at our in-person event, we'd have cake and dancing and I'd be going home. Unfortunately, we can't all be together in person. Here to help, though, are Rob Hyman from the band The Hooters and cake boss Buddy Valastro. Both have donated wonderful items to our auction. Please bid at alshealthcareheroes.org. alshealthcareheroes.org.
Hi everybody, Rob Hyman here from the Hooters, Philadelphia's own.
And 2020 was going to be a big year for us as we would celebrate our 40th anniversary. But something else got in the way. The pandemic, which we're all dealing with, and it'll just get pushed to next year. In the meantime, I'm happy to be here to celebrate ALS Healthcare Heroes. A few years ago, our group actually participated in one of the galas, and it was a great night for us. And we've kept in touch with the organization ever since. It's a brutal disease, and I know everyone there is doing their best to fight it. We've had a lot of songs along the way in our group. We wrote Time After Time with and for Cyndi Lauper, a song called And We Danced, one called All You Zombies, and coincidentally, actually wrote a song for the SpongeBob musical, SpongeBob SquarePants, and found out later that the creator, Steven Hillenburg, sadly passed away from ALS. So there's another connection there for me and for the group through SpongeBob and through Steven's amazing work. A more recent song that we've done is called Silver Lining. It's an optimistic song, and it's a phrase we hear every day as we struggle through these difficult times. We're all looking for the silver lining, and especially for the healthcare heroes and everybody working so hard to conquer the brutal disease that is ALS. We send our best regards and wishes, and keep up the good fight. We're here with you. Here's a little music from the Hooter itself. Best wishes, everybody. Stay well, stay safe, and go team. Take care.
Hi, I'm Buddy Valastro, and I'm proud to be part of tonight's ALS Association Greater Philadelphia Chapter's annual celebration honoring ALS healthcare heroes. You probably recall seeing my amazing mother, Mary, in many of my shows and episodes. Sadly, I lost my beloved mother to ALS. She was my hero and the best mom ever. During the course of her illness, she received so much help and support for those who cared for her. That includes my family, medical staff at ALS clinics, social workers, nurses, and ALS researchers, whose work gives us much hope that a cure will be discovered soon. Because of your support, great progress is being made. I share my thanks to these indispensable ALS healthcare heroes. We are celebrating this event. It is so meaningful and important to me and my family.
Thank you, Robin, buddy. Buddy, I want some of that cake, buddy. Want it right now. Looks delicious. Let's put some icing on this event. See what I did there? Time for our esteemed speaker, Chairman and CEO of Merck, Ken Frazier, introduced by Executive Director of the ALS Association of Greater Philadelphia, Jeff Klein. Jeff?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for attending today's annual celebration honoring healthcare heroes. I'm Jeff Klein, Executive Director of the ALS Association Greater Philadelphia Chapter. It's my distinct honor to introduce our next guest speaker, Ken Frazier, Chairman and CEO of Merck. Under Ken's leadership, Merck has continued to thrive in the global space in the pharmaceutical industry, delivering some of our most important medicines and vaccines. He's also led a philanthropic initiative adding to Merck's 125-year legacy as an important member of our nation and community. Ken's community accomplishments are too many to list, but consider that he is serving on the board of ExxonMobil Corporation, as well as Cornerstone Christian Academy, a small private independent school in Southwest Philadelphia. We are so delighted he could join us today. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Ken Frazier.
Hello, I'm Ken Frazier, and as Chairman and CEO of Merck, a leading research-intensive biopharmaceutical company that is made up of many patient-focused heroes all around the world, I'm extremely pleased to join in this celebration of ALS healthcare heroes. Thank you, ALS Association Greater Philadelphia Chapter, for the invitation to speak this evening, and more importantly, thank you for the more than 40 years your chapter has worked to improve the quality of life for people with ALS. I know I speak for thousands that have benefited from your support for ALS research and direct care services to patients and their families, as well as engaging in advocacy at the state and federal levels. I'm incredibly moved by the efforts of those we celebrate tonight. Gail Hausman, Laura and Peter Sawyer, and Dr. Andrew Geronimo are exemplars of the power of the human spirit and an inspiration to us all. As many of you know firsthand, when confronted with ALS, one's life and the lives of loved ones are instantly and forever changed. Tonight, we heard stories of strength, dignity, support, and love. And my story is about too many colleagues and friends who have had to face ALS, including my father-in-law, who lost his battle with ALS 25 years ago. There is so much unmet medical need, and this is what motivates all of us throughout the innovative biopharmaceutical industry, academia, and elsewhere. Collectively, we've invested tremendous amounts of precious resources into scientifically based, patient-focused, and hopeful paths forward, while maneuvering the twists and turns and learning along the way. The reality is that we are not always immediately successful, but encouraged by the learnings that pave the way for effective solutions down the line. And we, like this ALS chapter, remain as wholeheartedly committed to progress for patients today as ever before, knowing that the best way to make progress is through rigorous scientific research, quality care, and strong collaboration. Science, care, and collaboration are promising elements, especially when they are brought together through compassion. At Merck, we will not rest until our innovative medicines and vaccines reach every person who can benefit from them. And I ask that you join us in supporting the ALS Association Greater Philadelphia Chapter so that they too can reach even more people in need. Together, we will continue to make progress. And thanks to the special talent and passion of healthcare heroes like those we celebrated tonight, we should all have great hope. Hope for what we can do today to help even more people who are faced with ALS, and hope for effective treatments and one day, a cure. Thank you.
Ken, thank you so much for your meaningful remarks tonight. There have been so many inspirational moments this evening. Please remember these moments and all of those affected by ALS by supporting the important work that the chapter does. You can get involved by participating in an event such as Walk to Defeat ALS, or donate, advocate, or volunteer. I want to thank all of you for joining us tonight. Thanks to everyone for your support of the ALS Association celebration honoring ALS healthcare heroes. Your participation is so important as together we work to defeat ALS. And our hope is that this time next year we're doing this in person. I'm Michael Barkan. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night.